Hello and welcome to the ArsenalVavel official YouTube channel. Arsenal have just won 3-1 against Leicester, and I'm joined here with Jack to go through our player ratings. How you doing, Jack?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm very, very happy with the result. To be fair, from our predictions the other day, I think we were a bit harsh, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, extremely pleased.
So, should we start at the back? But Leno,
yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, why not? Leno, to be honest, he didn't really have much to do, did he? I mean, he had a couple of shots against him, which he stopped well. They were parried, back out, most of them. The goal he conceded, it was a good strike, wasn't it, by Tielemans? It was bang on, really. I don't know. What are you thinking? I'm thinking more of a, because he didn't really have much to do, maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10.
I think probably a 6 is fair. He was obviously beaten by that Tielemans shot, but that was a very good strike.
Yeah.
And aside from that, he didn't have any major errors. He nearly gave Vardy a goal.
That's true.
In the first half. And he was tested from long range a couple of times. I thought Leicester seemed to have a shoot on sight policy, which was quite interesting. But he dealt with them okay. Parried them away or caught them. So I think a 6 is fair enough. Nothing spectacular, but he wasn't awful.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy with 6.
One that I am interested in though is Cedric. Given Bellerin's previous performances, what did you make of him?
It's tough. They're almost. I do like Cedric. I like him as a player. I do. He's really difficult, to be quite honest. I'd say probably the same. It wasn't his best game, I'd say. He's had better games.
I think he was definitely all right down that right hand side. I think I'd say he linked up pretty well with Pepe, especially in the first half. Got forward a fair bit. His crossing wasn't brilliant, but then we've only got Lacazette to cross to.
Exactly.
And I think our fullback on that side is always going to be compared to Kieran Tierney, which always makes
that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, always compared.
But I'm happy to go with the 6 if you're happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with 6.
And then obviously Louise came up with the first goal. Lovely little header into the corner from Willian cross.
Yeah,
that has to bump him up at least 1 rating, right?
Oh my god, yeah, and he was brilliant at the back. He was fantastic.
Yeah,
he
was absolutely really solid.
Yeah, he's sort of, I don't know. He's playing for Arsenal. He's when at the start of his Arsenal career, he did make some few mistakes, but he's really coming to himself now. He's sort of that leader at the back for Arsenal, isn't he? He's always talking.
Sometimes, and sometimes he can have games where he just sort of switches off. Makes a mistake.
But when he has a good game,
you really do think like this is a really good defender, and you just wish that he could stitch them together for more than like 2 games at a time. I remember the FA Cup semi-final last year against Manchester City. He bossed that defense. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
I think he was really good again today. I'd give him a good 7. I think.
I'll go for 8.
You go for 8. Should we meet in the middle? 7.5.
Meet in the middle. 7.5. 7.5.
He was partnered by Pablo Mari, who was a bit at fault for the first goal, you'd say.
Yeah.
Probably should have closed his man down. But aside from that, I thought he was pretty good. There was one moment, especially when he went shoulder to shoulder with Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
And was brilliant defending. And I think he's really got an element of calmness to him at the back, which he brings that sort of Per Mertesacker vibes to that Arsenal defence.
Where we always used to have like a shaky, Mustafi, the Mustafi, like the end of the Mustafi Koscielny era sort of thing at the back. You always felt a bit nervous, didn't you?
Always really nervous to call that an era.
I know. But do you know what I mean? Like where a player run through on goal, especially Vardy against them two, you'd always feel as if, here we go again. But today, Mari partnered with David Louise. I feel like they, them two together, performed admirably to, especially Mari to stop, she said that scenario with Jamie Vardy to stop Vardy getting through. So, solid performance from Mari.
I think he's probably slightly lower than David Louise. I'll give him a 7, I think.
Yeah, I'm happy to give him a 7.
And they're all going to be high, aren't they? We won the game. We're on a high.
Okay.
So and then we come to Kieran Tierney, who I thought actually didn't have his best game in an Arsenal shirt. I think he's still warming up from his injury. Obviously, he got 90 minutes against Man City, 90 minutes against Benfica, and now he's had 90 minutes against Leicester. He's still a bit off, But even Kieran Tierney a bit off is much better than we've had in recent weeks.
I know, yeah. You said, even though he's still recovering from injury, he's still by far our best defender by a mile. Yeah, as you said, we compare all of our defenders to him. It just, even when he's come back from injury. But yeah, I have to agree. Obviously, he didn't have that much of an influence on the game as you usually have. Not many. Usually you might grab an assist, but yeah, I mean, I can't really say anything bad about Kieran Tierney in that game. With the whole defence, really, they were quite solid. I'd give him a 7 as well. I think.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I mean, as I say, they're all going to be quite high. I don't think he did anything wrong. He was
exactly.
He was himself, but he's got such high standards that you'd say he's probably been our second best player this season behind Saka. So
yeah, you've got
to sort of temper that. I suppose he had an all right game, didn't do anything. They doubled up on him in defence, so he was all right. And that's
what I did see though. Did you see when I think his name's Under, where them two came together?
Yeah.
And Kieran Tierney in the face. He pretended he went down. He got hit in the face.
I quite like that though. I think Arsenal we were always told off for being soft, having no cojones, and all of a sudden, if we start doing we start doing the dark arts of the game. I saw Xhaka do the same thing.
Yeah,
he took an elbow to the shoulder and went down punching his face. It's just little bits of game management that you don't like your team doing, but you like it if it gets the result.
Exactly. I was going to say, even though Tierney did that, I liked it because it brings a bit more, I don't know, where Arsenal is always, in recent years, bit of the teams that we've had almost a pushover in a way. We've been quite soft, as you said, but where we've got Tierney now, and Xhaka's always been like that anyway. But where we've now got that defender like that will fight for it, no matter even if he has to do that to win the game. It's good. It's good to see it. It's really good to see it.
Yeah, I mean. It's not just Arsenal either. It's worth pointing out. Johnny Evans did the same thing in the first half. We were going to have a shot on target, and he managed to get the ball out for a head injury, and then ended up back towards our own goal. And we had to rebuild. So I mean, it is good to see it sort of coming full circle.
Yeah,
but let's move on to the midfield because I think there was some mixed performances in midfield. We'll start with Granit Xhaka, who has had a very good renaissance in an Arsenal shirt since Christmas, hasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He performed ever since the whole throwing the shirt on the ground and this against Palace a couple of years ago. But no, yeah, he's starting to come to himself. He's there and there. There's some misplaced passes every now and then, but I think he's really, as you said, he's coming to himself now. He's really under Arteta as well. There's a lot of trust in Xhaka now, where before there wasn't, So, I mean, for Xhaka, I think I have to go in the middle again. What are you feeling? What are you feeling about Xhaka?
I think he was certainly better than Elneny, who we'll come on to.
Yeah.
I think he did pretty well in the midfield. I thought especially in the second half, he was very good at stopping those passes through from Leicester. Made quite a few interceptions and blocks. He's never going to be the most sort of edge of the box threading a pass through on a weekly basis. I'd give him a solid 7. I think. Yeah, I thought he was all right. Nothing spectacular.
No, but he did his job.
He did his job. Well. Yeah. But as we said, Elneny on the other hand, he was okay. He was okay for his standards.
Yeah,
I
feel that. Do you think he's another one to go in the summer?
100%. I think.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those players that Arteta likes because of his energy.
Yeah,
but I think he's very difficult to use in build-up, and he was better today than he has been. You did see some forward passing, but it's so often that you think, okay, Arsenal can transition quickly here from defence to attack. You've got Pepe on one side, give the ball to him, and then it's just sort of back sideways. It just sort of kills any sort of momentum and makes it a lot harder to break down side. You don't see Arsenal spring forward on the counter attack a lot of the time anymore. And with the players we've got, you should be able to do that with Pepe, Willian on the other side. So I give him a 6. I think he was okay.
I'm happy to do that. Yeah, as you said, it sort of slows the build up down a bit. I do like him, as you said, for his work rate. and how much he puts in for Arsenal. But yeah, I'd agree on that. I'd agree on 6.
Yeah, I think he's definitely one that should be. If Arsenal are looking to be seriously contesting for Champions League places next season, he can't be getting every other game. He can't be playing. I don't think, just because I think there are a lot of. It sounds harsh. I think there are a lot of players that could do what he did in terms of energy and work rate, and also add another dimension to his game with forward passing. And he might still surprise us. He still has incredible moments. You think back to Barcelona when he that goal. But he's just you never feel excited seeing him inside. You never think he's going to put in a 10 out of 10 performance.
Yeah, no, you're all right. Yeah, I mean, him with Xhaka in the midfield, I think they sort of work well together in a way. But yeah, if Arsenal really want to challenge, you need, we've got Partey there, who, came on as a sub. But him, obviously Partey instead of El Nene will be the first choice, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm pretty sure most people's opinions. But yeah, as you said, if we want to compete, I think we need to potentially move him on in the summer.
Yeah. Another one that was being spoken about being moved on after only a few months here, Willian. He's had a bit of an underwhelming start to his Arsenal career, to say the least. I think they read a stat in commentary where he'd had 27 shots since he joined and had 2 on target. But he sort of had a good game today, didn't he?
Yeah, I was very pleased. Very energetic. Normally when you see him, he's sort of bummed out, isn't he? He's like drooping around, But today, so much energy from him. I was really pleased to finally, it almost seems like he's come to Arsenal and it's almost like a retirement home for him. He'll come on for the last 20 and he'll just he'll pass the ball a few times, maybe make a few runs. But today, he actually showed like he wanted to play for Arsenal.
I think that is probably the least you expect from an Arsenal player, isn't it? Like fans don't dislike a lot of players, but showing some heart and desire is going to get you a long way with any football fan. And showing you want to be at the club and running around, it's a lot. It's that sort of thing that's been levelled at Ozil a lot for the last few years.
Yeah.
Does he want to be here? Does he want to play here?
I was very, very pleased, and also the 2 assists as well.
Yeah,
can you believe it? It?
Unbelievable, isn't it? What would you rate him as?
It's tough. It's really. I don't know. I mean, what we rated David Louise 7.5, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, Louise had a good game, but did Willian? I think Willian did contribute quite a lot, to be honest. We sort of, I feel quite bad the other day where we were saying we were laughing at him potentially starting in this starting lineup, but he's really proved himself. I'd give him a 7. I'd give him a 7.5. I'd say.
Really, I think I'd actually give him an 8 because I think it was his assist for the first goal, and then it was his driving run through about 3 Leicester players that set up the Pepe shot for the handball, and then he obviously got the assist for the third goal. I think on days where he is good, he is really quite good. Like he brought us forward when we were looking a bit shaky to start with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of times he'll drop sort of 5, 6 out of 10. But today I thought he really stepped up.
I was quite scared to give him an 8. That's why I sort of sat on the fence.
The backlash we'll get if you give him an 8.
But no, I've now you said that, I'm happy to give him. I'm happy to give him an 8.
Let's move on as well to the other side because obviously Nicolas Pepe was on the other flank, played the full 90 minutes, and again looked brilliant. I thought had that fullback on toast for the whole first 45 minutes.
Yeah, it is the amount of times he was brought down by Thomas because he just couldn't deal with Pepe.
Well, he got hooked at half time, didn't he?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Pepe was outstanding. He's I say at most games when he does have a good game, he's starting to come to himself now. He's showing us glimpses of what we saw before we bought him. But I think he's starting to come to himself now in a way under Arteta. He's starting to show us what he can do, what he really can do, when going forward. And before like maybe last season, where he didn't have a great start at Arsenal, you'd see him on the team sheet, you'd be like, will he step up? But now I'm quite excited to see Pepe on the team sheet.
Yeah, me
Where
too.
he's,
I was quite
yeah,
surprised to see him on the right. I thought he might
yeah,
pop out on the left, but he actually did really, really well with Cedric overlapping him.
brilliantly.
Gave him loads of space inside. And as you say, that fullback, I'm not sure that fullback made a clean tackle on him.
No, he
Full
didn't.
game.
No. Yeah, I know. Really poor game, but that's down to Pepe. I mean, in my opinion, Pepe had a brilliant game.
Yeah,
You know,
I'd give him the same as Willian. I think Willian probably contributed more if you're talking numbers, but in terms
yeah,
of performance, every time Pepe got the ball, you sort of thought he
keep
could do
going.
something. I remember
Yeah,
one
we've got
time in the
Arsenal.
second half, he
Yeah,
beat two Leicester players in like he was surrounded by two Leicester players, beat them both, and sort of set up another Arsenal attack. Which I was, before you'd see him maybe beat one, not beat the second, maybe go down, and you'd be thinking he should be doing better. But now he's sort of joining up parts of his game that you thought were a bit diverse to start with, and
yeah,
it's making him a much better player. He's defending really well as well. I think he's
yeah.
really buying into the Mikel Arteta sort of press. But
I'm really
I'd give him
give
an
him an
8.
8. Yeah,
Yeah,
so would I. I'm very pleased with Pepe.
I think a difficult one to judge is Smith Rowe, who obviously went off injured in the first half, and
Yeah,
also I suppose we could do Smith Rowe and Odegaard as a pair.
yeah,
I thought Smith Rowe was tidy, but he's always tidy, but he's not incredible. He's not like Bruno Fernandes. He's not going to score a goal and get an assist every game.
no,
He doesn't need to.
no,
I thought he was quite tidy before he went off. Was just starting to really get into his groove, I think.
yeah. He, I mean, as you said, he's sort of been obviously the injury, but he's sort of just, I've noticed that it has sort of been playing up recently. Did he was he injured? Was he injured for a couple of games? I can't remember.
I think he missed a game. I think he
Yeah,
went for a game.
but I think obviously we've seen glimpses of what he can do. You know, games where he really has shown us. But yeah, I mean, as you said, he didn't really do much wrong. He was quite, tidy passes. He had a good game until he did come off, but he didn't contribute as much as I'd potentially like him to. He's still got so much time. Obviously, like Saka, they're both so young, and it's so promising what we're seeing already from them.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're the future of Arsenal Football Club. If we can keep them, tie them down to long-term contracts, maybe throw Martinelli in there, and you're looking at a really exciting front three. If you can find the right sort of striker, maybe to go in front of them.
Yeah.
Do you think Odegaard was better when he came on, or do you think it was just different?
Different, I think. He brings. He's not as when Smith Rowe picks the ball up in the midfield, he'll drive with it. He'll really, he'll try and beat a few players, really drive towards the back line. But Odegaard is similar to Ozil, actually, quite calm on the ball, collected. He thinks about what he's going to do before. He's almost like one step ahead of everyone else, isn't he?
I think with Smith Rowe, he's much more direct, whereas Odegaard's happy to hold on to the ball. He trusts himself enough to hold on to the ball for a bit.
Yeah. And
then he trusts himself to bring the right pass. And I think between them, you've actually got really interesting options for when you want to play against different sides and different tactics.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think he was probably better, Odegaard, today, but probably just because he had more minutes.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say he's only shown us what he could. He's only had a better game than Smith Rowe because, he had more minutes than him. Or no, did he have? When did Smith? He came off in the second half, Smith Rowe, didn't he?
Came off at the end of the first half.
End of the first, so they both had similar amount of game time.
Yeah.
But
I suppose. Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, I think just as I said, Odegaard's playing style is different, and sort of when we needed to calm down, where we're a bit all over the place, maybe he sort of brings that, just nice when he passes it when he, when the ball needs to be released, and he can play killer passes as well. But yeah, I'd say he didn't really, I don't think he had enough time to show us what he really could do against Leicester. So I'd give him. What would you give him? Maybe 7, maybe a 6.
Yeah, I think maybe Smith Rowe a 6 and Odegaard a 7 or a 6.5.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So
I don't think either of them were game changers in the way that Pepe or Willian were. No. But I think that they were solid. I think everyone out there was okay today.
Everyone played really well. Yeah, as a team, everyone played. It was fantastic. everyone worked together. So yeah, I'm happy to give Smith Rowe 6 and Odegaard a 6.5.
Yeah, works for me.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And then, so finally, for the starting 11, we come on to Lacazette, who was brought back in, obviously, after missing a few games because Aubameyang was preferred up front. Did you prefer him there, do you think?
What, up front, over Aubameyang?
Yeah.
It's really difficult. I love Lacazette. I really do. I think, especially this season, he's where he was sort of playing in that 10 role or that number 9 role, wasn't he? Sort of kind of a bit deeper early on in the season. But no, obviously he's adapting to his actual position, which is striker, and he's still scoring goals. I love him up front. That's why I think it might be better to play Lacazette up front with Aubameyang out on the left. It's really difficult because Aubameyang can score, anywhere really. Kind of, he can score up front and score on the left. But it's if you want to play them two together. But Lacazette that game, I think he had a good game. Obviously, scored the penalty. So I'm happy to give him a 7.5.
I think probably a 7. I think he scored the penalty, obviously, but I can't remember him doing too much more in the final third. What actually stuck out for me was mostly his defending. I remember he ran back and tackled. He tackled and won a foul midway inside our own half, which you wouldn't see Aubameyang. I don't think you'd see Aubameyang doing. I think we can agree on that. They're very different players. I think Lacazette was very well suited to this setup with Willian and Pepe around him.
It's sort of similar, as you said, to Smith Rowe and Odegaard, the two complete different players in the same position. It's the same with Lacazette and Aubameyang. It depends which sort of style you want to play. Lacazette's more of the hold up player, but Aubameyang's more the I'll make a run and you just pass it to me and I'll score. So
I think also that might have been in Mikel Arteta's mind, trying to work out his best 11 by bringing on Aubameyang with sort of 20 minutes to go. Seeing how that front four does, because we've seen a lot of different combinations. We've seen Aubameyang on the left, Lacazette through the middle. We've seen Lacazette drop into that sort of number 10 role in the Europa League. We've seen Pepe on the left, Pepe on the right, Saka on the left, Saka on the right. Willian in and out of the team. I think there's just a lot of. I think he's just trying to find his best 4 to start and the combinations that work well. And I thought today worked really, really well. Yeah,
I agree. I think today his tactics were all right, whereas there was a game, I can't remember who played, but he admitted his tactics were wrong. But today he got it spot on.
I think it was Manchester City we played.
Yeah, City, that was it.
20 minutes, we were all wrong. We didn't do what the players didn't do what he asked them to do, and then they did, and obviously that game was over by then.
Over before it even started. Yeah, exactly. But today.
Who else have we got then? We've got Thomas Partey came on.
Yep.
What did you make of him? Obviously, only got 20 minutes in his legs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm super pleased. Obviously, still coming back from injury. I'm pleased with Arteta not like rushing him back. Giving him a full 90 every week. Just he's sort of, as we've seen so far, his Arsenal career, he's been injured more than he's played games, hasn't he? Which is it's a shame. But when he has played, even when he came on today, he's showing real promise of what we can build around him. Him as a centerpiece in the midfield. I think he'll be one of our next season. If it goes to plan, he'll be very crucial to our potential success, shall I say, next season. So I'm very pleased.
We've obviously already done Odegaard, who came on in the first half, and then we touched on briefly Aubameyang. Did you really see anything that makes you think? Was he on the pitch long enough to give him a rating that seems fair? Like he was on for 15 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, no, not really. It's kind of tough. I'd give him a 6, just maybe a 5, just to he played. Yeah,
I don't think I saw him touch the ball.
No, he didn't really.
I've done once or twice, but I didn't. Nothing made me think you've done well or you've done badly. Just came on, didn't he? Came on to kill the game.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's Aubameyang needs a full game to contribute, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm extremely pleased with today. Very, very pleased.
Yeah, and as you say, I think Arteta did very well. I think he got it spot on, both with his changes. Not bringing Saka on, getting Thomas Partey on to get some minutes in his legs. Obviously, Erdogan was forced, but I thought it was pretty promising, that side, and I think the result was very good because we haven't won at the King Power since 2015.
Yeah,
and we won that game 5-2, and Arteta came off the bench in that game.
Yeah. The thing is, we didn't we didn't win it in a scrappy way. We won it comfortably, didn't we? Leicester scored, and I was thinking, oh, right, here we go, brilliant, fantastic. But no, I thought, we bounced back, again coming back from behind to win another game.
Yeah.
Where before we wouldn't have seen that maybe with that Arsenal team. So no, yeah, very, very pleased. And as you said, a victory at the King Power was always nice, especially it's been that long.
Yeah, always nice to win at the King Power. Yeah. We did it in the League Cup earlier this season, done it today. What's not to like? Anyway, that's the end for our player ratings. It's the first one of hopefully gamely set, isn't it? Hopefully we'll get a different person on every week to do player ratings. Hopefully you don't differ too much. But if you did enjoy this, feel free to like the video down below, subscribe and follow us on social media. All of our links will be in the description. Come on, you Gunners.
Good night.